I'm working late because I'm a singer. Oh my God. Why did I just get anxiety? I just got so much anxiety right now. Guys, do you ever just like, well, this is stream. What am I doing? Like, why am I getting a random wave of anxiety? This isn't my first time at the rodeo. Hell, it's not even my second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. I just also, okay. I don't know what's going on. I love my life. I have friends. I definitely have friends. Okay. Sorry, I'll stop dicking around. Just making sure the final things are set in place. Please like, comment. I see your comments rolling in. Yes, yes. Like, comment, share. Hello. Oh my God. It's hot as fucking balls. It's so hot. And listen, when I moved into this place, which is technically nicer than the last place I was in, although the bar was low, my goal was to just have like the last place I was living for years. I'm getting into the crash out right off the rip. Hold on. Let's open the can. Today we have a classic. Pepsi. Pepsi's one of my favorite sodas. It's not my favorite soda, but it's definitely up there. I'm not a Coke girly. I like Pepsi. You can fight me on that. Britney Spears was right. Pepsi's Pepsi. I love Pepsi. What do you mean? What kind of Pepsi? Pepsi is Pepsi. Don't fuck around with it. Don't go diet on my ass. Just get me a can of Pepsi. A little guy too. A fan of a little can of Pepsi. I don't fuck with diet sodas. That's a fun fact. If you're having a soda, it's bad for you. Just drink the regular kind. Unless you have like an actual medical reason that you need to be drinking diet soda. All right, let's not shoehorn this, but like, you know what I mean? Just drink a regular soda if you're going to drink a soda. Fully commit to it. And a lot of people are obsessed. You know what? A lot of people are obsessed with Diet Coke and they'll like kill you if you try and replace it with anything else. Coke Zero does suck and I'll agree with that. Regular Coke's better than Diet Coke. I don't even like Coke that much, but if I had to drink a Coke, I'd be regular. Regular Coke's better than Diet Coke. I don't know what the whole thing about people being obsessed with Diet Coke is. I don't know why. I don't understand it. Just something about diet sodas just tastes particularly like you're drinking it, and especially goated up stomach acid. I think that's what it is. Diet sodas really do give like stomach acid maxing. Regular sodas just like they're still acidic and terrible for you in that sense, but like something about it just feels more palatable in my opinion. And that's why I'm a regular soda person. Either that or then I'll drink like frou-frou sodas that aren't sodas, like Poppies and Olipop and things like that. But that's different. And I don't really qualify those as sodas. I mean, I call them sodas because I love to have my little soda, but they're definitely not soda, but they are. You know what I mean? Diet Coke has a weird aftertaste that lingers. It does. It does. A lot of diet sodas do. And again, is it any shock? Hello. Thank you. Keep liking, sharing, commenting. Is it any shock that my stance on soda is just fully commit to it? Like full send it. Don't do this diet stuff. Don't do this Coke Zero. Just drink a good soda and just have the thing that you want to have. Don't try and make it better for yourself and your mind. Just commit and experience the joy in the fullest sense. And you know what opinion will get me banned from the state of Minnesota? Tim himself will come into my condo and beat my ass with a stick. I don't like Mountain Dew. I don't like Mountain Dew. Oh, I don't like it. When we were growing up, it was huge. We drank a ton of it. I don't know if I just drank so much of it one day that I like could never do it again. I think that might be it. I think that we drank. You're not saving in calories to deal with the taste. Yeah, and at a certain point, it's like if your calories are getting cut around a soda, like what are you doing with your life? There are so many ways in which, like, yes, I could go down this rabbit hole as someone who actively has always had an eating disorder, and that like the calorie conversation has consumed my entire life constantly. I'm not like when it comes to soda is soda. You know, I will look at sugar content when it comes to like vitamin waters and things like that. When I want to feel healthy about something, I will look at like sugar count. I'm not looking at calorie count though, you know, and things like that. But then again, when I'm drinking a soda, I know I'm drinking a soda. And so I'm just going to commit to that soda in all of its sugar and glory. I'm not going to try and beat around the bush. Root beer, the best soda, I think one of the best sodas, in my opinion. This might be this one might beat out all, might be S tier of all time. I don't know. It's definitely S tier, but it might be like the top echelon number one. Mug root beer. Mug root beer. A&W is not as good. Don't hit me with that shit. Mug root beer specifically. Regular, not diet. I think that goes without saying, obviously, given the previous 5-minute rant about diets. Mug root beer is the best root beer. And sometimes you can get those custom root beers, those local root beers, believe me. Minnesota has so many custom little root beers, like brands and stuff, which are good. But sometimes I will say they get too sweet. They get too sugary. I think Mug is the perfect amount of it's very sweet. It is very sweet. But then sometimes the custom root beers get like somehow more than that. And I think there's a balance. A&W, not sweet enough for root beer. Because if I'm drinking root beer, I do know what I'm getting myself into. Again, realistic expectations is the title of my memoir. And I do know if I'm drinking a root beer, I want it to taste like straight up sugar. Like I'm just snorting a line of sugar off a table. I know what I'm doing. I'm not beating around the bush on a root beer. If I wanted to not taste that much sugar, I would drink a Sprite. I would drink something else that isn't root beer. Root beer is literally just flavored sugar. But I will say sometimes when you get the custom, bottle root beers that come in the glass, they do get a little bit like thick on the sugar. And that's where I draw the line. It gets a little bit too corn syrupy. It's my 10-minute essay on sodas when I don't even drink sodas really. I'm so particular about sodas and I hardly ever drink them, but when I do drink them, they better be fucking S tier and it better be just the way I want it. I also discovered the other day I was hanging out with a friend and her family had stocked this soda. I can't remember what the name of it is. I will have to ask her when we're in DC this weekend what that was because it was delicious. It was like a lemon tangerine something or other. And it felt very Midwest as well. Is root beer any good? Just curious, BT dubs. You gotta be joking. You're shitting me, chat. We don't have the time to repeat that 9-minute rant. You're either locked in here with us or you're not. Keep moving forward, as they say in, was that the movie Robots? The movie Robots was an S tier film growing up, by the way. Speaking of tier lists, we will be doing a ranking list. We will be ranking things today. I have many ranking systems today, but I will give you a sneak peek. I made one myself, and then we will do a couple other ones that I found that I thought were fun, sounded fun. The two I'm looking forward to most, which we will be getting to later, I will just give you the sneak peek. One is called Unedible Things, ranked based off of how much you want to eat them. I think that's going to be good. I hope that's going to be good. I didn't look at it ahead of time much. I looked at a few of them. And then the one I made personally is kind of like 90s bathroom nostalgia. Like bath products. It started with just soap specifically, but I needed more. So it's everything from makeup to soap to those crayons we used to use in the bathtub. And we will be ranking that in a tier system. I think that will be the hardest one we've ever done because everything on that feels like an S tier. Everything on that I think we should have re-implemented in adulthood in one way or another, but we haven't. And that's our greatest failure as a nation. Not Donald Trump, but our loss of 90s bathroom whimsy. And everyone knows that. If you asked me personally, train a trolley situation, pull the lever and one track takes out Donald Trump, the other track brings back 90s bathroom nostalgia, it would be hard for me. It would. It really would. I'd have to think about it. Those decorative soaps in grandma's bathroom, oh my goodness, could go in either category because we never use them, really. But I do love the memory. The memories are fond. The memories are fond. Oh, yeah. What was I even crashing out at the beginning of the stream? You guys, the energy is just so zen and good today that I don't even remember what I was originally crashing out on before I poured the soda. What was it? I don't even know. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The critical thinking crisis was a different crash out. Window markers. Oh my God. Yes. What happened to window markers? The 90s dolphin aesthetic. We didn't have that in my house, but I'm listen, not my home, but I know my way around when it comes to the 90s dolphin aesthetic. We know our way around. If you dare touch them, there was a spanking upcoming. I like the kids who like told stories about how they would eat them. That's pretty fucking good. As long as we never go back to those liquid soap absorbing pad seats. Carpeted toilets. Oh, remember those? Yes. The carpet little things around the toilets on the bottom. Those were bad too. The shag carpet specifically. I guess technically everyone has kind of like a rug in their bathroom in a sense, but the shag, I don't know, something about that just always felt never clean. It never felt clean. You don't miss jelly shoes. Oh, jelly shoes were terrible. And as a kid who clearly had autism of some degree, I don't think I ever really owned. I think I tried. My mom bought me one pair once, and we learned quickly that that was not going to be the path for me because it really did scrape up your little ankles. And I refused. I was crying anytime I put them on. The fight I fought when it came to those little rubber crusty shoes. Oh. Even the original Crocs, because the original Crocs, if I recall, weren't as soft. Like nowadays, we all love Crocs. We all wear Crocs. But growing up, those Crocs, I was having quarrels. I carpeted bathrooms, foul, illegal, foul. Oh my God.
What are we doing? What's going on?
Ew. Yes. Anyways. The jelly shoes, oh, the blisters were bad. But also remember, and what happened to this? And can we bring it back? Whimsical light up shoes. Can we bring them back? Can we bring back light up shoes? Light up shoes. And especially like little kids still have light up unbranded shoes here and there, but they're not as common. They really aren't. I looked into them once because I wanted to know how common they were. You can find them, but they're not everywhere like they used to be. And two, I always remember that like it would be specifically characters. It would be characters shoes. Is this stream real? No. Everything I've ever done is simply AI. The character shoes, and I mean that specifically in like, I think I had a character light up shoe of some sort, and I believe it was Care Bears. I believe I had a light up Care Bear Velcro sneaker. It was either that or Hello Kitty, but I do think it was Care Bear because I wasn't big into Hello Kitty until like I was a little bit older-ish. And by older, I mean like maybe 7 or 8. But can we bring back just like whimsical character shoes that light up? Like, is there a Bluey shoe that lights up? Can someone confirm this for me? And can we as a nation issue a pair for every child under the age of 8 years old? Actually, I think that's my platform. If I run for president someday, my marketing will mainly be done through OnlyFans. I don't have an OF right now, to be clear. But if I was going to run for president, I think that's how I would launch my platform. Because I do think in a rage bait economy, that would probably get the most attention. And if we've learned anything through Donald Trump is that the dumber you approach something, the more popular it's going to be. So I would simply start an OF, and then one of my platform policies would be to make sure that every kid in the nation gets a pair of light up Bluey shoes. Bluey is a great choice because Bluey, everyone thinks Bluey's a boy. Bluey is blue. But Bluey is a girl. And so it actually works for every child. Man, woman, non-binary, everyone gets Bluey shoes. It works. It always works. And you know what else is ridiculous? I think I heard of hospitals. This isn't the ridiculous part, but I've heard of like hospitals that will give you like gifts when your baby's born, like a little to-go bag or something. I think it's ridiculous that that's not like a standard issue thing. I think that everyone who has a kid in a hospital should receive like some sort of menial diaper bag that just like has some diapers and some baby formula and stuff. It's not that much. It's not going to get them very far, but I think that's like a cute, practical little thing that should be done. Especially when you're paying like $60,000 to birth a fucking child in the hospital. I think you could get some fucking diapers and a cute little diaper bag. I'm one thing I'm really, really passionate about is more assistance programs for mothers. And parents of all sorts, of course. But like, obviously, this would directly impact mothers the most. We know this. Because I think that this country is a bunch of fucking dumb, idiot, moron losers, and they're not approaching this whole birth rate crisis in the right way, which like shocker to no one because it's just a bunch of dumb, stupid men in charge. And they think like, oh, if we just take women's rights away, then we can force them to have kids, right? Like if we just make it so they can't have abortions, then we'll force babies. Like if you actually just made the process less daunting and terrible, women would be having kids. Like actually, if you just fixed some of the holes in the system, like people would want to have kids. And I'm not saying us here. I know a lot of y'all, it doesn't make a difference, but for a lot of people it would. For a lot of people it would. 60,000, that was that an exaggeration? I think it can be more than that sometimes or something, right? I would assume between $20,000 and $70,000 or something like that. It's insane. I don't know. I've never had a kid, thank God, but it's a lot. Because blue used to be the girl color. Oh yeah. There's a whole subsect we could go off about the boy color, girl color controversy. But from Threads is crazy. That's crazy niche, but thank you for joining. Hello, love. No, I have so many thoughts about like the way we turn the birthing crisis in the United States around. For starters, I mean, besides like obviously like offer some fucking childcare, right? Like, and here's the thing, that part wouldn't even be that hard in the sense that like you really only have to offer subsidized childcare up until like roughly kindergarten-ish, because then once they're in, I won't go off on the tangent, don't you worry. Blue, pink, whatever colors, not today. Not in our almost Pride Month, okay? Just wear rainbow and call yourself whatever you want. We're fine. We're square. We don't have the hours in the day to start fighting on that fight. But what was I saying? Yes, subsidized childcare, you really would only have to do up until like kindergarten, first grade, because then once kids are put into school, there's after school programs that they hang around at a lot of places. I mean, not everywhere. And that would be the next step in like normalizing that. But also even like once you get into first grade, like, was it legal? No. But in the second, third grade, were we running around unsupervised at home until people's parents came home from work? Yes, we were. Literally how to increase the birth rate, do the absolute opposite of everything the US is doing right now. Yes. But I'm like, the two things I'm ridiculously passionate about as someone who like is terrified of the thought of having kids. Don't quote me on that. Like at someday I could decide that path and that's fine. I'm not 100% sold either way. Right now it's not looking great is all I'll say. But as an avid, like, get those kids away from me, I am so passionate about the fact that we need to have fucking support for parents, obviously, specifically mothers too, because let's be honest, mothers do indeed go through the most, especially when the kids are younger. Like your body is torn apart and they just send you on your way like a day after the hospital. No wonder the birth fucking mortality rate is so high here in the US. You're just like stitching women up and kicking them out the door like 24 hours after pushing an entire fucking baby out of them. Yeah. What a shocker. Women are going home and then dying. If you look into the maternal mortality issue, problems, stats, rates, you will find that like a vast chunk / maybe like majority of the percentage of the deaths happen in that time after birth, when women have to go home immediately and then they are unsupervised. My mother almost died after she gave birth to my oldest brother because his head is so fucking big. It's full of the audacity. We've known this since he was born. But she almost died because she like almost bled out. And they had to take her to the hospital like a week or two after or something like that. And that's the time frame in which women almost die. Because also like because you're also just like, what's a normal amount of bleeding for after giving birth? Like what is, you don't know. And so if we could just support mothers, people would want to have kids. That wouldn't be so terrifying, right? So my first thing is obviously we need to find some sort of subsidized childcare. We need childcare for mothers that obviously have to go back to work. Both parents have to be working. This economy is dog shit. There needs to be childcare for kids up until like kindergarten, first grade. Because at least then they can go to after school programs and shit. And then the other one that I'm super duper oddly passionate about that no one talks about, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure someone out there that but like it's not talked about enough, is like caring for mothers after they have babies. In like South Korea and other places, they have like post-birth facilities where women, and I'm pretty sure women are paying out of pocket over there, but women can go and stay for like a period of time with their newborn child, in which they have like around the clock care from nurses and people like teaching them things, helping them learn to breastfeed, helping them like watching the babies at night so that the mothers are getting sleep, bringing the babies in intermittently, right, to do feedings. And like the women are going to, like yoga classes and things during the day and like getting that exercise and like taking classes and shit. Can you imagine like how successful we as a nation would be if we offered like even just like a week or two of fucking like support for women after giving birth, and like the option of going to one of those places, even if it was just like subsidized at like an affordable rate? Like I would pay out of pocket if I had a baby. I would pay $1,000 a week to stay in a place like that for like the first 2 weeks. Could you imagine? It's a lot of money, but like could be like an incremental system of how much you charge people or whatever. It doesn't have to be 100% free, obviously, because I'm sure that would be a whole fuck ass thing. But dude, thank you for the likes. Also, if you're watching the stream, make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing. But yes, this is a thing I'm so passionate about that no one's really like, I don't see that we should even at this point, even if it's for profit, why aren't we building these in bulk in the US? Like this could be such... Where's a billionaire the one time you need them? Like this could actually be an extremely lucrative business, even if it should be provided, mind you, by the government or subsidized to some degree. But like, why are we not investing in this shit? Imagine if a billionaire came in and invested in women the same way they're investing in fucking tech bros. Mark Cuban, where are you? The Cubester, I know you're out there doing weird things with Trump right now in your healthcare stuff. Here's an idea. There's my thought. I think that's like, because I will say, when I think about having kids, the first and scariest part that comes to mind is like that first month after having given birth. Right? Because you're scared for so many reasons. Giving birth itself is scary. And how is your body going to heal? What does that look like? That's terrifying. That right away is terrifying, right? How do you care for that kid? How are you going to get enough sleep and support? I'm sure I don't need to tell anyone here. I'm sure a lot of women go through the husbands not being extremely helpful. Oh, it would be great for people who don't have a village. That's what I'm saying. Even if this wasn't like provided by the government, a lot of us, because there's also like so many single women out there who want to be having kids, right? It doesn't have to be a necessity I guess. But like there are single, and like I can't imagine as a single woman giving birth and then having to go home alone and then having that, like, and having to do that. What happens if something happens? You know what I mean? Like there should be, oh God, I could really go on about this. Like literally vacation places. It's not vacation, but you know, like, what, like resorts, post-birth resorts where they help you with all this shit. That should be a thing. Oh, anyways, those are my two things. Subsidized healthcare, or no, well, yeah. Subsidized childcare or full childcare, but let's not scare people with socialist ideas. Subsidized, I guess, health childcare until like kindergarten, first grade. And then and postpartum care facilities. Care facilities does sound a lot like you're sending people to a psych ward, though. I think retreat is probably a better idea. Retreat or resort. Facility starts to sound like you're just sending women away after giving birth, and that's a scary thought. If Oh yeah, I wouldn't wish a natural birth on anyone. Any woman who's like, I want to do it naturally because I want to feel it all. I'm judging you. I am judging you. I'm sorry. I actually, if I ever had to give birth, can I bring my own drugs? Like how much can I have? And at that point, what amount is redundant? Like, I would like, if anything, just put me under. I don't want to be there for it. That's not possible because you have to push, but good Lord, I wish we could advance the technology on that. But we never will because men don't have to give birth. If men had to give birth, the pain relief development would go crazy. If men had to give birth, childbirth would be painless entirely. They would have developed the drugs to their fullest degree. If men had to give birth, there would fully be postpartum facilities subsidized by the government. At this point, if men had to give birth, they would be able to incubate babies outside of the body. Like they wouldn't even have to be doing it anymore. The Testaments. Oh, dude, I've been watching The Testaments. Woo! Also, that was a paragraph. I don't care to read that much. I'm so sorry. I'm not that fast of a reader. But has anyone been watching Euphoria? Because I have so many thoughts on that. And I have so many thoughts on Euphoria. I don't know if anyone watched this week's episode yet. I just watched it. I think it was last night I watched it. And good fucking Lord. I think here's my hot take. I think that this Sam Levinson guy or whatever his name is, I think he's intentionally destroying all the characters. So that we wouldn't even want another season anyways. And I kind of fuck with that. That's kind of funny. Like, I do think that that's a really good approach to being like, you're never gonna want another season anyways. I think you're never touching that show. It is a good show. It's weird. It's got a lot of questionable stuff in it, but you know, you can't deny Zendaya's acting, and anyone who does, they're just a fucking hater. Indeed, Mamdani has an all-women staff, and indeed, look at what they're doing. But yes, I I naturally assumed that at the end of Euphoria, Sam Levinson is, I hoped would be killing off most of the cast in one way or another. But yeah, I think he's ruining all the characters on purpose. I think that's a really funny way to go about it. A lot of people are mad and offended at the way he's destroying the series in the end here. And as a creator of chaos and a chaos absorber and appreciator, I think that that's the funniest way to do it. And I full send him just ruining the show for everyone so that we don't want another season, because like none of the actors are coming back for it. I think that's the best way to go about it. I really do. I respect the game. I respect that hustle. But here's the thing. There's so many theories going around right now about like what's going on and what's happening. So obviously, oh my God, it's me not knowing any of their names despite like having watched the show. Obviously, the white trash people robbed the strip club guys, but they didn't steal their money. They took all of the evidence for their crimes, which they're probably going to use to blackmail them. That one was pretty obvious. It seems to be going over people's heads. I don't think there ever really was money in that safe, or at least if there was at some point, I don't think they stole money. That's why they found all those IDs in the safe, because the guys at the strip club have just been like, it's just human trafficking. It wasn't, I mean, obviously they sell drugs and stuff too, but so I think that there's something to that, obviously. I also think if I were to write this, because this next week's episode is the last episode. If I were to write it, here's how I would write it. Spoiler alert, plug your ears for the next 20 seconds here. Because I'm going to say what happened in this week's episode real quick. I do think it was the right choice and inevitable to kill off Nate Jacobs. I think that's really funny. A lot of people are really, really upset, but I like it. I think that fuck his character. They destroyed his character on purpose and then they killed him off and they're like, yeah, and he sucked. He sucked. He gets nothing. He gets no resolution. He's just dead now and karma's a bitch. And I think that's really funny. I think that was the funniest way to end that character. I think if I were writing the show in the finale, I would say they've already ruined Faye's character, who is everyone's favorite. And I think that this season is about learning like hard, terrible lessons and karma getting everyone. So I think in the next episode for the finale, I think that they have to traffic Faye, because I think that it's stupid and naive that she would have ever trusted those guys when we now have proof that they're like literally just trafficking women. So I do think that that's her fate, or at least that's, if I was writing the show to ruin it, I would say that's her fate, is that she doesn't survive. Rue obviously is about to get killed by one of them, if not both of them. Yeah, exactly. Fuck Nate. I can't figure out the delay. There's such a delay on this stream where chat comes in super late. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care that Nate's story arc was bad, because there was no story arc for Nate that would have ended in any sort of resolution that we would have liked. Because everyone was like, oh, Nate and Jules, right? Nate and Jules. He's so fucking for real. There was never going to be anything there. That was never going to happen. Let that one go. That's the craziest one, where the Nate Jules shippers are still thinking that would be a thing. Buddy, that was like a half a second in the first season. It's so far beyond gone. They were never getting back together. And then I think, what's her name? Why am I just thinking Jules? Zendaya is just Zendaya. It's me not even remembering the characters' names, even though I watch this show. This is what I say when I say I'm absolutely horrible with names. I can watch several seasons of a show and still not know the main characters' names. Why did I remember Jules' names, if anyone? Maddie. Yeah, everyone was like, yeah, he didn't like get any, Maddie was never going to get any resolution. That's like the whole point. Like, that's a lot of the themes of this season is like, well, isn't that just fucking life then? Isn't that just fucking life then? And I think that's great. I actually appreciate for once in our entire lives a TV show that is messy and pisses everyone off, because it's honestly a pretty realistic reflection of how life goes. everyone was expecting bows and shit to be put on the end here in storylines to wrap up. And I think that the takeaway of the whole season is like, life sucks and then you die and then it's done. And like all these people suck and all this shit is just happening to them. And like, isn't this terrible? Isn't the show directed by a creepy guy? I think he's creepy. I've never looked into him. This is the only thing I think I know that I've ever seen, but I think he sucks or something. But yes, I don't know how Jules' story is going to end. She hasn't been in the last few episodes. I think Jules, they should just write her off. Because I think, like, Jules' character is kind of boring. She's just sleeping with that sugar daddy. And I think that's life for her. I think that's it. I don't think she turns anything around. I think if I were to write it, I would just like not even reintroduce her into the last episode. I'd say like, yeah, that was just her life. She just like continues on be like floating. She never found her place. Again, that's kind of life, you know, maybe in her 30s, she'll figure some shit out. The Idol. Oh God, I only ever saw that one clip from The Idol where it was like, what the fucking one where he's yelling with the veneers. And then, yeah, there was never going to be any sort of resolution between Maddie and Nate. That was ridiculous. I think that was a ridiculous expectation for people. And also, I think like if you wanted Maddie to have any sort of a good ending, she could have never had any resolution with Nate. I think her getting far away from Nate is her resolution on that. Why would you want them back together? He was terrible for her. Now, however, she is deeply intertwined with the drug dealer guy. And she's super fucked. I think it's funny that everyone thought that she was going to outsmart him at some point, but it's been shown to us time and time again that Maddie is chronically as stupid as the rest of them in the show. Jules in the season, Jules has played literally like no role in this season. And I think that's honestly kind of the vibe of the Jules character. And that's why I think she doesn't get really a resolution at the end either. If I were to write it, I'd say she just kind of continues on being an unself-aware dickbag. And speaking of fucking dickbags, also, I was going to say Rue, the fucking dickbag of the season as well. Never figures anything out. I think Rue's going to get well, okay, there's debate. I mean, people are saying she's telling the story. She's probably telling the story to the DEA. And so maybe she makes it out. But if I were the writing the season, I would kill her. I would kill her off if it were me. But I think she probably could be telling the story to the DEA, or she's telling the story from the afterlife. Those are both two options. But I think that getting her off the hook and like, I think a good way to end it actually would be that she's telling the story to the DEA and it doesn't really help her case that much. Cause like, remember the DEA guys were like, they will look favorably upon your case, which doesn't mean she's going to get off. I think she goes to jail. If anything, if she doesn't die, realistically, she probably just ends up still going to jail for a very long time. And they just maybe cut a couple years off for all of her involvement in this. Maddie, again, circling back, she was never that bright. She was always posed as the brightest of all of them, but the brightest crayon in a box of neutrals is still pretty fucking dull. Like she thought that she was going to outsmart this drug dealer guy. And now she's just ended up being one of his girls. And I think, she's in debt to him now. And I think that's where she's trapped. She's going to be stuck with him for the rest of her life. I think Sydney Sweeney's ending, I think that's like the whole story arc for her as well. We just saw like, she's also going to be in debt for the rest of her life. She's going to be stuck doing OF for the rest of forever. And now she doesn't have anyone. So I think those two girls are now, or they traffic her off with the other girls, honestly. Should be a crazy last episode plot twist, but not out of the question. And that summarizes all of them. I think the funniest part is like Lexi. Lexi's going to come out with this show, whatever that she's writing. Like Lexi's going to be the only one that's done well. Everyone else is going to be either dead or in jail. Who's your favorite character? I think that all the characters suck intentionally. No one should have a favorite. I mean, it's hard not to say Zendaya just because of her acting, but I don't know. Like all the characters suck. There's no character that I like, and I think that's again the point that everyone's losing because they're like, everyone's trying to find a character that they like and they're rooting for, but the point of the show is that you're not supposed to like any of them, so everyone just kind of looks like fools dying on the cross trying to defend their specific character when it's actually just a show about a bunch of teenagers that grew up to be moronic assholes. Yeah, you kind of put these characters with their high school intelligence. Well, here's the other thing that no one took into account. Most of them, I'm pretty sure, went to college. This is the other thing that's pissing me off about a lot of people's critiques online, because they're like, why are all the characters so different now? This is supposed to be, I'm pretty sure, post-college, and they said that. They're in their later 20s. But because the media literacy crisis or whatever is just so bad in this country, no one noticed that. Like, everyone's got adult jobs and they're clearly supposed to be adults now. And that's the one thing where I'm like, your critiques are kind of dog shit if you think that someone at 26 is supposed to be the same person they were at 16. Like, we forget that they have actually jumped like pretty much 10 years in time here, which is an insane. Like, if I look back, if I think about if a show was shot of me at 16 and a show was shot of me today, I don't know who those two girls are, but they're not even cousins. They're hardly roommates. That's the thing that bothers me. Also, I don't think the only critique that I have about people's critique, my critique on the critique that people have about Nate Jacobs is that people are like, Nate Jacobs changed too much. I don't think he did. I think that his story arc makes perfect sense to me if you break it down in like the tiers of a modern MAGA man, because they did point out that he's supposed to be MAGA. The only critique I have is that yes, he's not abusive anymore, and that part he would still be to a degree. He still would be to a degree. Now, I will say that he was quite angry and violent at 16, and the anger and violence of men at 16 isn't always presented in the same way as the anger and violence of them at like 27. But that being said, it would present in different ways, which it kind of does and doesn't with him, which is very strange. Although I don't remember, I guess I would have to go rewatch. Did he ever actually like abuse Sydney Sweeney in those ones? Because he kind of held both Sydney Sweeney and Maddie in like different, he kind of treated both those girls differently. Now, he was still violent towards both of them, but in different ways. And so I think that people are expecting the same violence from his relationship with Maddie to carry over at some point, which oftentimes it does, but sometimes these guys do change. And I'm not saying he changed for the better, but you can see it in other ways that are like in a more mature form of abuse. Like, he's very much so pushing her to do all this shit and angry. And he still very much so sucks. But I think that also people are like, he doesn't have that dog in him anymore. And I was like, and my critique on that is that I think he's just like in his late 20s and this failing red pill MAGA guy. So he's probably just, and you do see the violence still come out in him sometimes, but I think he's also just like exhausted and tired, and he clearly hates his wife. So he's just annoyed and exhausted with his life and being an epic failure, which he was the cool, hot, popular kid in high school. So he had that dog in him a lot more. He had that ego boost, right? He had the energy, and now he's a burnt out asshole of an adult. And so you see the violence still there, but just in other ways and to a lesser degree, and like just in different ways. I would say, I think that he's still obviously an asshole and abusive, but I just think that it's going to present in different ways when you're 16 versus when he is 27. But I will say yes. I think another reason we don't see as much of that either is that he didn't film very many scenes with Sydney Sweeney. They intentionally had all of his scenes pretty much shot solo. So we didn't actually even ever really get to witness much interaction between him and, what is Sydney Sweeney's character's name? Cassie. So we don't actually know if he's like abusive with her much to that degree. We saw him get pretty mad and pretty violent a few times in the few times they were there. But yeah. Yeah. That's my rundown that no one asked for on Euphoria, and where I think that's going, and my critiques of the season, which is like, it all does make sense to me. Everyone ending up where they did. makes sense if you kind of think about it deeply enough. Doesn't mean you're gonna like it though. And yeah, I'm kind of hoping that they kill off most of the characters in the show, because I think that's the funniest way to go about it. Exactly. Most of the guys, it sounds like most of the guys you went to high school with in Utah. Yes, I know many men. I have some men that I dated and knew in high school who were violent, who were a bit like, if they got violent enough, they would physically harm you. And now they're in their late 20s and they're married and they still suck in many, many ways, but it presents in a different way. And it's like watered down, I think, in the same way we did see through Nate Jacobs in the few scenes that we saw him. Which isn't to say like men change, they get better. It's not better. It just presents differently. And yes, emotions and things are always way more heightened when you're 16. So I think that also explains why they're like, why does everyone seem so tired? Everyone's tired of the show, whatever. No, the character, I mean, they probably are. They probably are. That is probably part of it. But also, like, it is realistic to believe that at 27, after doing this shit for 10 years, these characters would be indeed fucking tired of this shit. I do, dude. Thank you. Also, make sure you drop likes, shares, keep commenting your opinions and stuff. I'm trying to read them as I go through all this, but yes, that's my take. Nate gives financial abuse. Yes, he gives financial abuse. I think that one was obviously unintentional, but became a thing. And yes, he definitely is giving. He will throw things and break them near you. He will probably grab your wrist way too tightly and maybe leave a bruise here and there, which often does escalate into other things. But I also think that for everyone just being like, he seems watered down and lobotomized. Well, he's also just like a MAGA red pill man who has failed in life and is probably quite fucking exhausted, being so horrible all the time, which isn't a super uncommon thing to witness. But I'm sure, obviously, then that would still mean that he has his moments. We just didn't see them on screen. Cool. That was my way too deep, in-depth breakdown on something no one asked for, Euphoria, but I'm just really excited to see this final episode and call it a fucking wrap, as I'm sure they are too, because I think also, hilariously enough, most of us are over all of these actors. And I just want to see if Sam Levinson has the guts to kill them all. So, dude, you left a relationship? Hell yeah, leave his ass. Sorry you had to go through that, but glad to hear you got out. Glad to hear you got out. Always sorry to hear it, but always glad to hear that it's done. Hopefully. Sometimes they come back like parasites. You never know these days. Okay, let's check the Twitter news real quick before we get into our ranking systems, which we will get into ranking systems, and I'm very excited about that. I've been thinking about it this whole time. Don't you worry. We will be ranking 90s nostalgia characters. And you know, YOLO. Someone threatened to kill me in a video game the other day, and I just responded, YOLO, I guess. We're about to find out, I suppose. Like, what do you say sometimes? Sometimes I'm like, what is the funniest thing that I could say to this person who's expecting me to take this in all seriousness? Which, as you should, but... So let's check the Twitter news. As you can see. Oh! Democrats announce official call. Oh my God, I actually saw some notifications about this. Some people I know were talking about this, but I didn't look into what it was because I was busy setting up the stream. What is this? Democrats official account installs. Yeah, we got it. I'm sorry. We got to ratio this guy. We got to ratio this guy, and we got to keep it ratioed, you know? Fuck you, Stephen Miller. See, and that proves that we can all work together sometimes. We can indeed all work together. They're not wrong. That's what I'm saying. I'll boost. Okay, actually, I've never once really reposted anything that feels like a strong repost to start with, but you know what? Actually, let's fully commit to this. What's the funniest thing we could say in this moment? How do we craft this all together? Ratioed seems too obvious. Ratioed is far too obvious. Hold on. Ratioed feels far too obvious, and broken clock twice a day, I guess, feels far too oppy. That still feels super oppy, but it's also funny. Listen, sorry, the Democratic accounts usually aren't that funny. They need to learn ball a little better. Absolutely crazy. On the official account is this is what I've been saying to them though. They need to start doing some insane shit. So I guess like I gotta show up the one time they start listening to me saying you gotta go off. I gotta show up. I gotta show up for it at least. LOL. Who is this? A Fox News. Fuck you. This is evil, hateful. If you think this is bad, you should see what MAGA says. Yeah, no, exactly. Official POTUS account, everyone. Shut the fuck up. Honestly, okay. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that mess. Trump plans to attend Knicks NBA final game. Boys, give him hell. I don't know what you could do with that situation to make it really funny, but please, please don't. Please don't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Please have him sitting courtside and somebody just slipped the ball. Oops. Oops. It slipped. You know, they're not even calling for violence and they just call him an ugly fuck or whatever. Nosferatu. Why is Nosferatu trending in the United States? His name's Donald Trump. Have some respect. Stephen Miller's trending, of course. Of course. Jill Biden. Jill, what'd you do? I think we all thought that he was having a stroke during that debate, if we're being honest. I remember watching that and calling my mom and saying that was a really fucking hard watch. That was bad. I knew we were cooked before that, but good Lord. Good Lord, was that a difficult watch? I also feel like she didn't need to come out and say this, you know? We let the old man lie. That's a crazy thing to start getting trending. Don't disrespect Peralta like that is crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. Also, you guys, if you're just logging into the stream, make sure you like it, share, drop some comments. What is this recommended right wing quote recommended to me? What is this? I remember that. That was a tough day. See, this is the shit where it's actually insane to me where Clav is like, I don't want to be considered one of the red pill guys. Don't like call me red pill, blah, blah. He's hanging out with like literally the black pill guys here. Isn't Sneeko literally what they refer to as like black pilled? Like it's literally worse than red pilled. So like you're going to run around and keep pretending like you're not a red pill incel. And then you're going to go hang out with all the guys that are red pill incels and or worse than them. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is insane. This is an insane account. We don't need to be there. Oh, that brings me to my next talking point. This was something that I wanted to gossip about. Because I do have thoughts on this. This is my unnecessary black pill. Black pill is worse than red pill. So I know a lot of the world. Ew. Don't bring that up. I know a lot of the world is just discovering red pill, which you're about 20 years behind on that, unfortunately. However, there is a thing called black pill, which is evolved red pill that has been around for maybe like, if red pill has been around for like 10 to 15 years, I'd say black pill has been around for like 5 to 10 years. And black pill is an advanced stage of red pill. You would almost consider it Nick Fuentes, but a little bit further often. And it's these guys. Actually, I think Nick Fuentes is considered black pill. But it's, so the concept of red pill, you know, it's like the Matrix. It's like you take the blue pill. They think the woke pill, or the red pill, which is like, yeah, alpha male, women aren't people. So the black pill is like, the earth is doomed. Society is doomed. Women will never like me. There's no point in trying. Like, I'm not even going to try and better myself. I actually like, it's anarchist. It's literally like they hate conservatives, but they're like also conservative. You know what I mean? Like their black pill is like literally just violent men who hate everyone and like want the earth to explode. And they want like women to uninstall, and like they have no interest in bettering themselves. And it's insane. It's insane. It's very much so, like, I'm pretty sure we consider Nick Fuentes that, but I think he toes the line. It's insane. It's like, because at least like in red pill, there's some semblance of like, oh, we can improve ourselves. They're not doing it in the correct way, obviously, and it's tragic and embarrassing. But like the concept of red pill is that they are at least trying to become their version of better men. And black pill is like, actually, there's no point. Actually, they've accepted that they're so far gone that there's nothing they could ever do that women would make women want them or whatever. And so they're just going to become violent and awful, and they want everything to burn and go down with them, et cetera, et cetera. It's really sad, and disgusting. But you can't even, it's like, it's also worse. Oh, I'm hiccuping. It's also worse because you can't argue with it, right? You can like tell them that's sad and embarrassing and wrong. And they're like, no, we know. No, we know. And that's why we're black-pilled, because we're not going to try. We're just going to take you all down with us because we know that this is bad, XYZ, and so on. So psychopaths, pretty much, honestly. Pretty much. But speaking of red pill, I also want to get into this think piece.
How are you, man?
On Clavicular and his girlfriend. I know this is a ridiculous topic. No one is asking for this. This is one of those, we have more important fish to fry, but I think this is interesting. And this is a think piece I'm working on making a video about, cooking up. I'm thinking it over, I'm mulling it over. I think we could talk through it together. But first, like, I just want to give you an example of this video for reference, because this video is about, this conversation is about, specifically, Clavicular has like 2 or 3 girlfriends, And two of them, and this one we'll be using as an example, are the hottest women you've ever seen. I don't know what the third one looks like, if I'm being honest. I've never seen what she looks like. I'm sure she's also hot. This wasn't a diss at the third girlfriend. I've just never seen clips of her. I need you to watch this video and then we will talk.
How are you, miss? Nice to meet you. How's your night going?
Hi. Oh my god.
What the
You're
fuck?
so gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
Like,
I love your outfit.
Oh my god, thank you
I love
so
your
much.
outfit. Thank you.
You're really pretty.
Thank you so much.
What are you getting up to?
I'm going back home.
You want to come to Raising Cane's?
What?
Want to come to Raising Cane's with us?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I have a boyfriend.
Oh, okay. I have a girlfriend.
Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous.
I know, but you're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm being so dead ass right now.
How are you, miss?
There's that one. I think there might have been a second one I saved. Oh, yes.
Let these girls go.
Okay.
You know, like, let these girls go.
Oh, no. That's a different video. I want to talk about it because, as you saw, his girlfriend, Lily, is the prettiest person anyone's ever seen. Let me see if I can pull up a photo just so we can reference this. Clavicular. I think that one's name is Lily. Either way, Lily and the other one, so gorgeous. There's Lily and this other girl. Trust me, I'm going somewhere with this because this is my think piece. Okay, both of these girls, Lily and Fiona, both the prettiest girls anyone's ever seen in the world. And here is the thing that I have to say about this so far. I haven't structured it into like a particularly like interesting thought yet or into video. But as you'll see, one, like these are the two prettiest girls I could imagine any man like it. Like it's beyond just like their face card, but it's also just like at every angle in every shot, they are mogging. They are mogging. They are out mogging him by a light year. They are so much more attractive than him. They are light years out of his league. You can sit here and argue that yes, Clavicular is objectively a decent looking kid. These women are so much fucking more gorgeous than Clavicular. And people on the internet are starting to pick up on that. And that's the part that I think is funny. People are starting to pick up on the fact that Clavicular's girlfriends outmog him. And it's an interesting thought process and concept because Clavicular uses these girlfriends as these tokens, right? The women are objects and it's how he is perceived and he gets respect through these women. But you can also see through the way he's been treating them and continues to treat them that he is coming to a realization that these women are actually out of his league. And you can see that insecurity in him, especially in that video I showed you where he like stops and tries to hit on that other girl. And that other girl is like, today is not going to be the day. She makes up probably a fake boyfriend to be like, I'm not coming with you. And makes it very clear that the entire time she is gassing up the girlfriend. She is gassing up the girlfriend to highlight the fact that that girlfriend is indeed light years out of Clavicular's league. And I think that's funny because we are now seeing that he's coming out as insecure. He went on that Super Red Pill podcast the other day. I forget the name of the guy. He was in the documentary, the one where they always have like a bunch of girls on the podcast mics and they're sitting around. He took his girlfriend on there and like, the whole time you could tell his energy was giving very insecure, very trying to prove that he's the alpha. And she was there and she was just kind of like laughing and turning, like sighing and like rolling her eyes at him. And like she was mogging him the entire podcast. It was so fucking embarrassing to watch. Like this also like this man's, I guess he is a man. He's a grown man, but he's just so emotionally immature. This man's life literally is a Greek tragedy to the degree that he has made his life mogging, and yet he is chronically proving that he is the worst mogger on earth. And even the women he surrounds himself with outmog him to the point where you can tell that he's insecure about it, and the behavior is coming out sideways. And here is the thing. He is constantly telling these women, fucking hold on. I'm talking too much. Here's the thing. He's constantly telling these women on stream, like, oh, you are ungrateful. You would be nothing without me. You would be nowhere. And here's the funniest thing. They are like Miami 10s and they're in Miami. And I think that there's almost a moment where you can see it starting to unthaw in his brain over time, that these women actually could walk away from him and like date an NFL player. Like, those girls are so pretty that I think they actually could go to a club and pull, what's his name? That one that's always like Brett Favre, or is that the guy? Is that the guy that's super hot right now and they were trying to like ship Alex Earl with? Like, these girls are Alex Earl level of hot, if not, in my opinion, hotter. They don't need him at all, and I think he knows that, and that's why he treats him like that. If anything, they could do better. They could leave him at any point and date like an actual celebrity now, especially with the clout they're getting off of his stream. And I think we're watching him actively spiral, coming to the realization of that. And the thing that I think, who's Brett Favre? Who's the one that got all the work done and was like at the roast? I don't know footballers. Fuck, you're not right. It's not Brett Favre. Who is the guy? Tom Brady. That's the one, right? I'm convinced that those girls could walk into a nightclub and steal Tom Brady from Alex Earl. And they have aura and energy that he doesn't even come close to matching. And you can feel that radiating off of them in every clip, and you can see him getting like smaller and smaller. And the reason I bring this up is because I just think it is repeatedly hilarious that everything that this man does, everywhere this man goes, every single other person he surrounds himself continues to mog him. And he refuses to understand that at some point he just has to become a decent person. But he's not doing that. And it's embarrassing. And it's so peak red pill incel bro. Despite the fact that he repeatedly claims that he's not a red pillar, but then continually hangs out with all these red pill manosphere content creators. Like, let's call a spade a spade. You are a red pill manosphere content creator, and you're consistently getting outmogged by every woman you surround yourself with. They are only there for the clout. And the sad thing is, you have picked a bunch of women that I don't even think need it. Not that anyone needs that shit. The instant he becomes decent, they walk away. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you guys are all red pill incel, like black pill copers at this point. Shockingly, actually, rich men who are decent get more women. You just wouldn't know that because they're not on your feed because you're not decent. Women are all naturally insecure creatures, hence all the makeup. Okay. I don't know. I feel like you're just saying random ChatGPT sentences, dude. Your username is literally daddy. I can't be convinced that you're very secure in yourself. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. These women are very visually not insecure is the funniest part. Like, they're very confident and their confidence is radiating. And by proxy is making this man look humiliating. If anything, it would be smarter for Clavicular to surround himself with insecure girls. Because at least by proxy, it would make him look somewhat competent. Anyways, that's my hot take on the Clav drama recently, is that I think that he's getting mogged repeatedly. I got kids. So having kids is not the measure of anything at all. Any moron in this country can have kids. That's been proven. It's actually ridiculously easy, genetics aside. Have you seen MAGA families? 17 kids and fucking still going. In fact, it takes a certain level of intelligence to avoid having children. That's why you fuckers can't seem to figure out birth control. Anyways. That's my take on the hilarious Clav news, is that I keep seeing these clips of him like talking down to these women, and it's clearly coming from a place of insecurity. And it's a really hard watch. But it's like watching a train crash repeatedly. You can't look away. Anyone can be, dude. You can be the most looking, but if you're insecure, that's gonna go show. Yeah, exactly. It's like watching a crane. It's like watching a car crash repeatedly over and over again. I will say, though, I must say, the ROI on watching dumb clips of clavicular arc is quite high if you like watching a man get humiliated. Okay. Now we have come to peak stream hour. Are we prepared? Are we not prepared? We are going to get into ranking things. We're ranking. It's been a short stream week. The humiliation ROI on watching clavicular streams is sadly quite high if you think about it. Still wouldn't recommend watching them, but like, if you ever need a good laugh, just watch him try to operate around any other group of normally functioning people in society. Confidence mogged immediately. We're going to rank things. Here is the thing. I don't want you guys to be able to see the bottom because I don't want to spoil what's on the list. But I have to be able to see the bottom is the issue. I'm going to duplicate this color block. If I can. Copy. Me editing the stream live whilst filming. Boop, 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 boop. Whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, cool. I think that should be sufficient. Did you like my Zoidberg noises? Cool. That's what we're rolling with. We're doing the ranking system. I'm working late. I love the way that this isn't evenly split. Cool, cool, cool. Everything's going really well. Everything's going super well. I'm doing a good job. Cool. Okay, we're back. Okay, cool. Well, that's awesome. No one saw anything. I swear to God. If I could just get my mouse to work. Okay, we're going to go like this. This is what we're going to do. You guys, I'm doing this all solo. Look at me go. Women can do hard things. Okay. Oh, that's right. And then I put the chat over here. I'm working late because I'm streaming. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. We're ready to go. Are you ready to rumble? Zoidberg. The Zoidberg noises are what make us. All right. Everyone drop some likes, drop some comments. No one saw. It's fine. Drop some likes, drop some comments, share, boost. We're getting into it. So we're starting with what's going to be the hardest one of the night, I think, in my opinion, which is ranking 90s nostalgia in a sense. I personally refer to this as like bath time stuff or whatever, but whatever you want to call it works for you. It's just kind of, it originally started as like soaps and things we used in the 90s. Saw what exactly? But now it's just like 90s self-care things we grew up on. 90s self-care things we grew up on. Starting out strong. Actually, you know what? Ooh, I can't throw in the heavy hitters first. Gee, good luck studying. The heavy hitters. We didn't even get into the literacy crisis crash out. Oh my God. We'll have to save that title for next time or later at the end of this. Okay, hygiene products. In a sense, we're going to start out. Oh God, all of these are S tier. I don't even know. Okay, starting out strong. We're going to go with these guys. I don't know what these are. I think they're a soap of some sort that clearly has like animal heads. I'm just going to drop them for namesake so we can see them. Hold on. I actually can open up the folder and show everyone if I knew where the folder laid. Yes, I can show it up for everyone bigger. This is my starting choice. Okay, cool. That's kind of bigger if you think about it. So unmarked, it just says liquid bath. Oh, I guess some of these are shampoos, detangler. Oh, it was a set of some sort. I never had these. Johnson & Johnson, I've never seen them before. Some people felt strongly about them. S tier out of the gate is crazy. I've never even heard of these products. They are cute. I don't think they're an S for me. I think B or C. B or C. If I had to do one. Just because I didn't have these growing up, so they don't resonate with me. Okay, so some people had these. You find them kind of creepy. That's what I'm saying. They're a little bit off-putting. Not sure strongly. Yeah, okay. I'm glad everyone else is also thinking these might be a little bit scary. The Ninja Turtles. I think I'm going to go C. Because the character work's not ideal and I didn't have them. So it doesn't spark memories and joy for me in a way. Okay. Next up. Actually, I think showing you guys the biggest version is the good way to go because these images are quite small. And I want us to fully enjoy this experience. Next up, I want to go with something that might be a curveball, a little bit difficult. Bath and Body Works Art Stuff, a big brand at the time. Art Stuff, Twinkle Twinkle Glitter Body Spray. Glitter Body Spray. This is hard. This is a hard one. Because who doesn't love glitter? But it's also very basic. It's not like the best, but Art Stuff really did hit. It did. I'm thinking personally A tier, maybe B. This might be B. B or A? B or A, chat? What are we thinking? This shit, like, because it's hard. Glitter's definitely not going lower than B. Any kind of glitter is fine by me. But I think A or B. I think we're going to go A, right? That feels right. We had better glitter. We did, but that was a staple. Okay, next up, we're going to go. Oh, why did my voice start vibrating there for a minute? Okay, these things. Because I remember them and I was obsessed with this. These flushable wipes, this brand where it had the super squishy button for whatever reason, and they felt like cloth-ish. They felt cloth-ish to me. I don't believe for a moment they were properly wipeable. Honestly, it probably was some form of cotton. They were very soft. I can remember the smell of these specifically as well. Because they were unscented, but they still had a scent, and I can smell it. I can smell it. It also smells like food poisoning. Because boy, when you had food poisoning or it smells like stomach flu. You were going through these. You really were. I'm thinking C tier, C or D, just because they're flushable wipes. Who cares? But also the button was fun to press. Not everything can be A tier, guys. Not everything can be A tier. Remember, we have other tiers in the system. I'm thinking, I think D. I think something's got to go in D, and I think that might be it. That might be the D tier. Just because they're flushable wipes, Actually, I'll put it in C. I'll put it in C because the button. Absolute septic nightmare. I can't imagine that our toilets held up through that. But I've seen what goes into that toilet. She's a fighter. Okay. What are we doing? Which one are we going for next? Ooh. Okay, here. We're going OG lip smackers. OG lip smackers. Just the base level lip smacker kit. I think it's getting an A. I think it's getting an A. Or could be S. That one might be S. That one might be an S tier. A moment of silence for the toilet. Shitty times, man. Shitty times. Lip smackers, OG. Feels like we were really mostly eating these. We weren't wearing a lot of them. You guys, but they were good. We were gobbling these. I was a lip smacker goblin. I hope they were safe to eat. They must be, because I'm alive still. The ROI on lip smacker snack sticks was crazy. They should have just turned these into candy at some point. Cherry was the best. We do have more chapsticks to rank, don't you guys worry. But I do think we'll give the OG the S tier. Because I do think that controversial take in second place is the specific candy flavored ones for me. I think they were great, but I do think that they're slightly second to the originals. The candy ones are good, but I don't think they beat out the originals. The candy ones were just made for eating, if we're being honest. Was anyone really putting these on the lips? Like the original ones, at least they made it to the lips sometimes. These were going straight in the stomach. I was eating them. You ate a good 3 Hello Kitty strawberry lip candy. I ate a good 3 Hello Kitty strawberry candy lip gloss at some point. Get those numbers up. 3 is rookie numbers. Do better. Go for 4. I had like a chocolate version of this of some sort. It was some sort of like M&M or something. I was eating it. Yeah, I think those are going to be A tier just because we should have known marketing those was just going to end up food. It was just going to end up food. Okay. Hear me out though. Hear me out. We're still stuck on the chapstick. We might as well just hit these home runs while we're at it. Soft lips, I'm thinking B tier. These were great. I had the vanilla one. And I loved it. But it was also like your mom owned these. They had these little soda ones. Yes, I think I had the soda ones or something. Oh, I don't know if I had the ones that look like cans, but I do know what you're talking about. I think that these are C tier, C or B. B or C. Okay. I'm glad we're all thinking B or C here. Chat, B or C, B or C. This is where if I had a moderator, we'd be running actual polls, but just spam that chat. Spam that chat with what we're thinking on the letters here. I think B. We got to have something in B. And I think this is the one to do it. Next up. Oh my God, I have so many strong opinions on this one. We're going to skip that one for now. We'll come back to it. You guys are going to hate me. This specific, from this brand, I'm forgetting the name of this brand, but you guys know this one. This was like the Philosophy brand or something. I hate to, I'm thinking C or D just because I never owned these. The bottles around my time also looked a little different already. But I saw these around, you know, not in my home, but I knew my way around these bottles. But I do think this is just a D tier for me because there were so many other better body washes at the time. And what is this fuck ass packaging? Like, if this was made in 2026, you would have said that that's AI. That was AI packaging for sure. C, everyone's saying C. There's a vote for B. We're getting D, C and D in the Twitch. Okay, yeah, I'm agreeing. I'm putting them at D just because we had better options, but they weren't bad. Okay. Here's the next one we're going to do. I should have put this on twice because I have two differing opinions on it. Okay. Honestly, this is both S and D tier for me. It was a staple. We all had it. It was iconic, but also terrible product. Fried your hair right off. Absolutely awful. No one should have been using it. And you can't really dye your hair after using this, or at least you're not supposed to from a chemistry standpoint. Sun-In was a spray that you would put on your hair. It was mostly just lemon juice. Your hair would then turn bright orange in the sun and or fry right off. I used a lot of it. I did, and I looked chopped. I was looking chopped. I think that this has got to go B. This has got to go B simply because we can't deny that we went through bottles of this shit. Cannot deny that we were running through this shit. It gave you trauma. That's what I'm saying. A staple, a traumatic staple for every girl in the times. A traumatic staple for every girl of the times. Yes. Definitely had orange hair for the bit. That's what I'm saying. It turned your hair orange, and then it also, like, it would make it gummy in a way where you couldn't dye it. For that reason, B tier. Putting that still in B after that description is diabolical, though. Absolutely insanity. Okay. I know I went too hard. I went too deep in on the chapsticks for this one. I really did, but we have another chapstick. I'm so sorry. We have another chapstick, and we're like halfway through the chapstick options. We did far too many. These ones, honestly, roller glittery chapsticks, lip glosses, the roller lip gloss. All things considered, I think roller lip gloss probably gets an A or B, right? A or B? Probably B, because it wasn't lasting. It didn't really look like much. I think B. I think B. Because it's definitely not beating the candy lip smackers, that's for sure. Reminds you of Mario. Yeah, maybe the font a little or something. Yeah. No thoughts? No one has any thoughts on these? Crazy. Stimming effect. Fair enough. Too sticky? Yeah, actually, that's fair. I think C. Far too sticky. I mean, I guess we could put it in D tier. We could go crazy. It was too sticky. Wasn't working. How are you using so much? Bestie, if you don't have at least one chapstick near you at all times, you're not experiencing girlhood properly. And in fact, I hesitate to say 2 chapsticks near you at all times within arm reach. So that does require you to own at least a dozen. You have to have 1 in every purse, if not 2. And then also duplicates of your favorite. And that's girlhood. Had limited choice in chapstick. Yes and no. Okay. And one last final chapstick. It could be the chapstick that blew the whistle on the whole operation, or the chapstick that ruled them all. A classic, an OG, Baby Lips, Maybelline. After this one, don't worry, guys. It gets much more into what would be conceivably gender neutral stuff that will resonate with everyone. What about 3 chapsticks? Gotta have 3. Baby Lips, it was an iconic staple for middle school. Middle schoolers everywhere were killing each other to get Baby Lips. I think they are A tier. I think they're A tier, especially because of the tint variety. And it was just tinted enough. It's just tinted enough. A true perfection of the tint. I think A tier, really. A or B? A or B? Anyone? Does anyone want to decide A or B? Anyone? Bueller. I have one chapstick. It has no flavor. Well, that's because it's 2026 and we've lost all sense of whimsy. Bring back chapsticks with flavor. Let us eat them. The kids are hungry. We can't afford food. Maybe we could afford chapstick. That's how we solve the food crisis, I guess. B? I think B. Yeah. I agree. One person said B and I'm in. Someone made a definitive choice and we're sticking with them. They know what they're doing. Okay. Now this is where we're going to start getting crazy with it. We're getting wild. We're getting wet and wild. Okay. This is a controversial take. I have a controversial take on this. Suave Kids Detangler. We're all familiar with it. You can still smell it as I'm describing it to you right now actively. Here's the thing, though. They smelled amazing. Your hair smelled like apples. Did it do anything? Did this actually do anything? You never told me you stream. I say it literally every day. Media literacy crisis is in shambles. Crazy. Did this do a goddamn thing? We should have put light up shoes on this list. We didn't. Well, that's S tier. We all know. There's no debate on that. We've been over it. No one has any thoughts on the detangler. Not one singular thought. Just someone said, I love that stuff. Cool. I'm on the fence on where we put it then. That shit did not work. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a staple and we all had it and we all love it and we all know the scent immediately. But that doesn't make it work. It didn't work on 4C hair. If it makes you feel better, I don't actually think it worked on anyone's hair. I think that it was like, what were the ingredients? I'm pretty sure it was just water and apple scent. I'm going to put it at C because we all loved the smell, but I don't think it did anything. Next up. Okay. Here's a heavy hitter. I have controversial takes on this as well. These Crayola color bath drops. I don't know if this resonates with anyone. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments, guys. The Crayola color bath fizz drops. We had these once. And I think they might have either went stale or didn't work. Because I remember dropping them in the tub at one point and they didn't do anything. And am I crazy? Or did anyone ever successfully get these to work? And did ours just like expire before we really used them? Because I was also a very anxious kid. So I would take stuff like this and just like hoard it for years without using it. And then, you know, it would always go bad or whatever. And lesson learned. The fragrance was a huge deal for you. That's fair. I mean, I think that was the only thing we got out of it. So it had to have been a huge deal for all of us. That you loved these? Okay, we got one loving them in the chat. Are they edible? Are bath bombs edible, chat? Chat, yes. Chat says yes. They are about as edible as a bar of soap. So do with that information what you will. You could argue if you have enough balls, you could eat them. They're edible in the sense of if you've got that dog in you, really. These failed to walk so that bath bombs could run. That's the fairest assessment I've ever heard. And for that reason, I think we're getting another D tier. Damn, D tier is filling up. We're in a negative Nancy sort of mood today. But here we go. I'm going to hit a home run on this one. These Oral-B's where remember the cap was different shapes, but here's my grievance with these. The cap had a shape, but it never came out to be the shape. It was a great concept. However, the execution was poor. Because we all had it and we all loved them, and we loved picking out the different characters. And it tasted pretty all right. I think A. That's my 2 cents. I think that these are an A tier. Only because I was always frustrated that I couldn't get the shape. A, I have the same grievance. So we're all mad about that then. Okay. And I tried. Boy, did I try. Because at some age, I did figure out that that's what it was for. It didn't work.
What are we doing? What's going on?
I think A. Tooth Tunes. Should have put Tooth Tunes on the list. Okay, up next. Bath crayons. Crayons in the bath. Any sort of bath paint also. I will say bath paint / bath crayons for this one. S tier. Easy, right? This is S tier. This was just good fucking quality bath time. Bath crayons. We were specifically a bath paint family. I will allow us to interpret this as both. I think this is an easy dub. This is an easy dub and easy choice. Bath time wouldn't have been the same without a fuck ton of bath crayons. You got glittery blue toothpaste and you're complaining? Some people have all the luck. Lobster too buttery, steak too juicy ass situation. Bath crayons ruled. S tier. These were peak. I think we're all in agreement. Bath crayons ruled. How did they work if they had S? Of course they fucking worked. And I'm going to include bath paint in this as well. The washable bath paint. And that definitely worked. We were a bath paint family. So we're doing S tier. Easy. This one. Oh, let's do another one. Bonbons. 75 cents nail polish. D tier. It was garbage. This shit gunked up. It was thin as hell. It did not work. It had no motion. It did not do its job well. Hypocritical thing for me to complain about, but I will. You get what you pay for with this one, honestly. 75 cents, and it did not paint well. But we still had a few of them. All right. I'm the only one who remembers this, I guess. My chat's either too old or too young for a lot of this. Yes. Okay. And it did look like shit. I feel like it was probably toxic too. I want you to know, it's really important to me that you know, chat, that I also ate this one. Not more than once, but I did try it. I was probably that kid they had to put labels on things for not to eat. I was eating everything. One original eater, some might say. I don't know why. Sometimes I would smell things, and if it had a smell, much like nail polish often does, I had to know what it tasted like too. D tier. Anyways, I'm glad we all know that now. I didn't have to share that with the world, but I did. I'm glad. I'm proud of who I am. Did you eat glue too? What do you think? We watched Billy Madison growing up, and you're going to ask me if I, the kid who ate everything, didn't then go and try to eat glue as well. Of course I ate glue. At this point, it's a medical mystery how I'm still alive. I should be tested in a lab for the amount of things I ate as a child. Ugh. How do you know if you don't like it if you don't try it? That's what I'm saying. And I've always said that. And when I say I'll try anything once, I fucking mean it. As long as it's a Fisher-Price plastic toy and it's me eating it. Cover the hands in Elmer's glue and then peel it off. Yeah. And then maybe try to eat a little bit of it. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. Anything is edible once. And I've always said that. Anything's edible if you're brave enough. Kids just aren't eating toxic shit these days, and it shows. Okay, these bath squishy pearl things that would burst. We didn't have these in my house. I always wanted to have them, but the concept of them also scared me because you would like squish and pop them. And there's something about that was off-putting to me. Eat erasers. So please stop asking me if I've eaten things as a child, because the answer is just yes. Please stop asking me. I tried to taste. I maybe didn't. Well, let's not get into it. My mom had these art erasers. Me immediately after saying let's not get into it. All started when I was born. My mom had these like putty erasers that were like artist professional grade. And I know if I had eaten more than a teeny amount of that, it should have killed me. But it was also like dough consistency. How was I not? It was rubber, to be clear. It was rubber that I ate, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so these bath pearls, circling back. This lower drop just explains a lot, homie. I was homeschooled, okay? Does that help? Does that... Oh, everyone wants to bully Andra. I was... You know how hard it is to be bullied in school when you're homeschooled? Women can do anything. Okay, these bath pearls freaked me out. No one gave an opinion on these bath pearls. There's a reason a lot of us have microplastics in us. That's what I mean when I say the microplastics are the least of my worries. I don't really give a fuck about microplastics at this point. I was eating everything. Nothing that was food, though. I was very picky eater. Which doesn't make any sense at all. Okay, these pearl things, I'm going to give them a C because they freaked me out, but I like the concept of them. My son ate one. Your son and I would have gotten along very well. Okay, next up, we still have a good amount to go. We're almost done, though. We'll start going through a little quicker, though, so we can do another one. Okay, easy home run. Come on. Ka-chow, Mr. Bubble. Easiest home run of our lives. Easy. I don't even have to ask chat. This is S tier. Accidentally drank way too much Minnesota lake water as a kid to be alive. Yeah. Definitely should have been hospitalized at some point. People get hospitalized for being in Lake Minnetonka on the 4th of July nowadays. There's no way we were drinking it and coming out fine. That's pollution or some shit. Easiest S of our lives. This was one of my favorite things in the world as a child. In fact, I took so many baths with Mr. Bubble and sat in there so long that I did indeed repeatedly have to go to the doctor because I was having problems. And they're like, hey, maybe don't let her sit in the bath for 2 straight hours filled with soap. I was a Mr. Bubble enthusiast. At one point, they had Mr. Bubble merch, and I begged my mom to let me have it. I never got it, but I did want it real bad. Okay, what's next? Okay. We're gonna do this one. No more monsters, I can breathe again. Okay, no more tears. L'Oreal Kids. Specifically for me, the strawberry one. I picked the strawberry bottle because it was my favorite. I love my hair smelling like strawberries. I want to say A, but I feel like there were a lot of tears. My bad. I want to say S, but I feel like there were many tears. The tears labeling, and we all read it wrong for years. I know what they meant by tears now. They didn't mean put it in your eyes and find out. But still, I feel like we all deserve a class action lawsuit for being fucking stupid. Also, yeah, I know this is a joke, but also, you know what I will say? Apparently, that's got to be evidence that the media literacy crisis has just always been an issue as well. Because we really all thought no more tears. No more tears, my ass. My mom was beating the shit out of my hair in the bathtub with this stuff. Anyways, I'm going to give it, I'll give that one an S because you know what? We also have this one on the list and this one feels like an A to me. Suave Kids, also strawberry. Big on the strawberry. This one feels slightly secondary to that one. Oh, Johnson & Johnson, baby. Oh, I remember. I know ball. Familiar with the concept. This one feels like an A to me. We're just blowing through the rest of this. Okay. Should not have expected small children to know the difference. Yeah, and that's honestly on them. Easy B. Easy B. This is a tried and true classic, a staple. Everyone knows someone who had this. Somebody's grandma, maybe the school. The Milk and Golden Honey. It was good. In fact, I might go to the store and buy some more of it if they're still selling it. This shit was good. Put it in the bathroom once I run out of the fancy soap. Woo. Yeah. Your grandma had the rose one. Ooh, that was good too. That was a good one. I'm familiar with a lot of the soft soap products, don't you worry. You have the clear one. I think that I literally have a clear one in my kitchen right now. It's probably the one I have. Soft soap. I'm going B tier. B tier. You want A? We could do A. I'll give you A. Just because someone actually responded with a letter. You guys, we're getting better at this. Okay, here's a crazy one. Here's a crazy one I'm throwing in here. I'm throwing this thought into the ring. This might be a niche memory for some people. Super Sudser. They had so many infomercials for this. I saw it in the store. I did buy it one day as a child. No, luckily I didn't ingest the soft soap by choice. There may have been an incident or two where I did ingest the soft soap, but that was not by my own choice. I'm thinking C tier for this one. Me looking as if I don't know the alphabet. I think C tier because the concept of this was good. It was cool. It's cool looking. It didn't, I mean, it was meh, you know? It was very meh. It's the infomercials. The infomercials were cooler than the product. So many infomercials all the time. And I think they just set us up for disappointment, really, which was actually just conditioning us for adulthood. Misleading information to set us up for disappointment. A staple of life. Okay. Here we go. Here we go now. You focus on idiot red pillars and something nothing to do with the men's rights movement. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I am a woman, so I'm not really a part of the men's rights movement in that sort of a way. So that's probably why you don't see me talking a lot about it. I talk about feminism and stuff. Hope that helps. But I'm not sure what that has to do with 1990s and early 2000s soap. But I'm not also sensing that there's a lot of brain cells active up there in that head of yours. But yeah, cool. YOLO, you know. Next up on the list, we're gonna go with this. The Victoria's Secret body mist. Victoria's Secret body mist, and the reason I bring this up, because boy, do I have a tail. Okay, C tier. That's crazy. C tier, really? I feel like B. B tier. These were good. C tier, audacity. What? The reason I bring this up is because Victoria's Secret is also owned by the same parent company now that owns Bath and Body Works. And recently I went into Bath and Body Works to get one of those little wall plug things. And they were doing like a Disney, right? You perform the harmful idiots. I'm not promoting anything. I just dunk on them. But yeah. Cool. Again. Yeah, cool. Anyways, you dude. We're talking about soap. Oh yes, Victoria's Secret. Body mist. I bring this up because I was in the Bath and Body Works and they were doing a Disney princess collab. And there was one that I bought, that I purchased because I smelled it and I was like, I couldn't even describe what this smells like if you held me at gunpoint, but it just smells like the recession. Like it smells like it smells kind of like 2008. It smells kind of like when times were good. And then I realized they were literally just recycling this scent, this amber and whatever. I'm pretty sure is the one that it was. Or one of these. Oh no, it was Pure Seduction, I believe, because the bottle used to be orange. Or something like that. No, it was one of these. I owned one of these, and that's what the scent was a spray that we had in my house growing up. And that's why I purchased it. But the scent name at like Bath and Body Works was just like Belle or Jasmine or something, and not like Jasmine. It was like one of the Disney princesses. It was like Belle something or other. Like it didn't have a name to it. I was like, I don't know what this smell is. But then I realized they're just reusing old scents, which is fine. I mean, there's only so many smells in the world, but I thought that was really funny. Putting it in B tier because it smells like when times were good. It smells like when the family was still together, you know? Up next. Okay, here's a good one. Mane and tail shampoo and body. Oh God, it's an all-in-one. It's an all-in-one body and shampoo. I didn't even know that. This has got to be lower than D tier, right? I argue about this all the time. And that has to be like a fucking litmus test that they put in the goddamn store. You're not supposed to buy it. There's always arguments of people being like, who is buying this garbage? I think it's just like, if you buy it, they actually ask you to leave at the checkout. They're like, you actually don't come back. I know. F tier. That's what I'm saying. Never used it. That's what I'm saying. Has anyone ever met anyone use it? And if you have, are they at all normal? And the question is, mane and tail, are you using it on people or on horses? Or is it a 2-for-1? And in that case, please get out of my home. That stuff sucked. Oh, that implies that you knew ball. Oh no. Okay. Next up, there's only a couple things left. Don't you worry. We're about to get good. Roll on body glitter. I think we all know exactly where this lands for me. Roll on body glitter. Bring it back. Make America glitter again. Like, fuck yeah. I actually Googled where to find roll-on body glitter to get for my nieces for Christmas, because I think they need to bring this stuff back. This was a peak of childhood. I was rolling this everywhere. There was body glitter all over. I didn't eat this one, don't worry. Maybe one of the few things I knew, don't eat glitter. That one you didn't have to tell me. It's crazy that I drew a line at glitter.
That's my boy. That's my freaking boy right there.
Art stuff fucked.
We're gonna fuck.
Art stuff was great. It was also terrible all at once, but it was like, it was cool. It was considered cool because Bath and Body Works was considered cool at the time. Roll-on body glitter was the best thing that was ever invented, and I want them to bring it back. I've been searching for that high ever since. Roll it on. It was a genius idea. Okay. The original hand sanitizers from Bath and Body Works. The original bottles where you get the cutesy little things. I have grievances with this as well, because I never knew peace with these. There wasn't one single one of these that didn't eventually explode in my backpack and ruin everything. The way these things were destroying my life, but also we were obsessed. B tier, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, there's a spot there too, perfectly. I think B tier, just because they never didn't ruin our lives a little. They needed that update, that rebrand. A, B, B, S. Oh my goodness. What are we rolling with? I think I'll allow A. I'll allow A. We'll split the difference between the S, A, and B requests, and we'll go A. Get the same grievances? That's what I'm saying. And then last, but most certainly not least on the entire list, you've waited for it the entire time. You've wondered, where is it? Did she forget? Did she not remember the true staple of the 9Ds bath community? The best thing since roll-on body glitter, that they recently rebranded and took all of the whimsy out of, ruining our entire childhoods for the rest of forever and everything that will ensue. I give you soft soap with animal in container. I think it's obvious. It's obvious. And tell me you didn't try everything to get this little guy out of there at one point. Specifically, the parrot one. There were others. The parrot one was the most common. Not sure why. They took it away. They took my boy.
That's my boy. That's my freaking boy right there.
Free my bird. He did not do anything wrong.
They're too angry. Their weed is not loud at all. Their bitches are not bad at all. They got no motion whatsoever.
Easy S tier. S tiers across the board. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The easiest S tiers we've ever seen in our lives. 26 files ranked. 26 files ranked. Amazing. We did not have bath oils, but I know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure that's what these things were kind of supposed to be. But I'm not sure. We had the Disney cups with the floating glitter. What? Oh, that's cute. Remember those little paper cups? Remember the little paper Dixie cups? Those were cute. Let's see. We do have more rankings. We could do one more ranking thing. I know the cups you're talking about. Yeah, the Dixie cups, and you could get different characters with them. That was the best part. Oh, yes, we're going to do unedible things based on how much you want to eat them. I'm just afraid we're going to rank everything S tier, you know? I'm afraid that everything might be an S on that. You just got back. I'll give you the one last look at our final countdown. Do. Animal paper plates. Yes. You mean fucking Zoo Pals? Oink, oink, Zoo Pals. Something, something, Zoo Pals. Other things, Zoo Pals. Okay. We're going to rank these. Orbeez, that feels too hot and heavy. Hold on. Let me look at this whole list real quick. Yeah. Orbeez out of the gate is an S tier, right? Ranking things that aren't edible based off how much we want to eat them. Oh. So, okay. Orbeez gotta be S tier, right? It feels obvious. That's too obvious. Yeah, everyone else agreed S tier. I think that's just common sense. Soap. Just straight up soap, or is there specific soap? I don't really want to eat soap inherently myself, personally. Unless it's good looking soap like that. So I'm thinking C for soap. A, B, C, S. You weren't allowed to have Orbeez because my parents thought you'd eat them. I don't think Orbeez were huge yet when I was a kid, or maybe I missed the wave or something. Orbeez are begging to be eaten. That's what I'm saying. I think C for soap because I could see some soap. But I don't inherently wish for soap much. Quartz. Ooh, I can feel how that would feel on my teeth, and this is a D tier. Okay, thank God. Everyone agreed. Yeah, you got your mouth washed out too often. Exactly. We don't need to know. We already do. This is Marbles. That's the same concept for me. Absolutely not. Absolutely same. Molten glass. Who's making this list? Who wants to eat molten glass? That sounds like the most painful time I've ever known. Who's eating molten glass? Who is in charge here?
What are we doing? What's going on?
What? There's no way someone just said S to this. Who's putting an S for molten glass? D for, yeah. That's insane. Who's saying S for molten glass? I will allow you a B. How about? I'll allow a B. The clear soap. What are we even talking about at this point? I've been in a glass blowing studio. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I'll allow a C. Now that you put it that way. Beads? Who wants to eat beads? Good Lord. It's not the same thing as Orbeez. These are just plastic. What's the bar on this list? Yeah, everyone said D. Bouncy balls? C. Now that's squishy. That's squishy. I'll give it a B. I'm going to give this one a B. Chewy plastic's appetizing. Yeah, but not like, that's rock hard. I'm going to say B for bouncy balls. Just blowing through this right now. Oh, sorry, you can't see the whole list. That's funny. Glassware. No one should want to eat glass or screws. Sorry, we're not entertaining that. Beauty blenders. I'll give it an A. I agree with everyone else here. It's not an S, but it does seem squishy and delightful. Does seem squishy and delightful. I'll give it an A. We bit a bouncy ball. Everyone, in fairness, I think at one point or another has been a bouncy ball. You can't eat anything that's rock solid. Not if you're a little bitch. Jesus, that dog came out of me. Which you don't have, or else you know what it's like to eat glass. Please don't. That'll kill you. It's a joke. Lipstick. I mean, based off our previous lip smackers discussion, I think we all already have. Wax melts. I agree it's either an S or an A. Wax melts, S or A. Kind of, I think A. I'm leaning A. The SpongeBob episode where the guy eats a bowl of nails for breakfast with no milk is crazy. Oh, indeed. Where's my soundboard's not working.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
No, what happened to my cheese audio? That's so lame. Someone's saying A. I think A, yeah. One person. Play-Doh? Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. The thing is, I mean, we've already eaten it. Does that count? Yeah, styrofoam peanuts. I've eaten those too. I shouldn't be playing this game, or I should at least be lying at a certain point. I have eaten peanuts. Maybe I don't think I've eaten the styrofoam ones though. I will say. Styrofoam ones I would like to eat though. Lip scrub. It's too gritty. It's too gritty. I think that'd be like sandpaper on your teeth a little. But it also might be like if it's a sugar scrub, I'd put it at a C or a D. Can't have everything in the D tier. Glue. Well, okay. See, now everyone ranking this in D tier is just judgmental and insecure. Because I bet they've all eaten it too and they're just lying. Now, I guess if this is based off of how badly I want to eat it, I'd put it in C. Because I already have. I don't need to go back. I would put it in D, but obviously at some point I did want to try it. So we're putting it in C. Glue sticks? You're killing me. You're outing me. Yeah, I've eaten those too. It's just like chapstick in a different form. B. Sorry. I'll say it. I ate every form of glue. I could rank different glues based off of having eaten them. That's how much glue I've eaten. Not like in bulk, okay? I'm clearly still alive. Don't eat glue, by the way. It's bad for you. Candies? Oh, candles. I guess if they're pretty candles like that, yeah, I could see an A. I think they're going to taste a little soapy, though, which is why I wouldn't say yes, but I can see why everyone else would say yes. I'm going to go A. Moisturizing cream. I've eaten it. It's not good. This one not on purpose, though, okay? Everyone's gotten a little bit of lotion in their mouth at one point or another. Usually it's because it gets stuck up under my nails. And then, yeah, I'm not gonna. Legos, yeah, no one wants to eat those. What wine pairs well with different glues? Mike's Hard. Because you know what? It feels like no one wants to do it hard these days. And Mike, he's out in the field representing it. Mike's Hard. And you know what? Mike's never been soft. He's seen a lot of medical professionals about the issue. It's actually really serious. Lava? No, thank you. I also would not like to eat lava. Bath bombs? C tier. It's kind of just going to be chalky, but I'm a little curious. Chalk? I have the type of autism that makes chalk feel like I'd rather burn my skin. Although then again, we did really like eating. That's actually not a fair thing to say because Smarties is one of my favorite candies and that is just edible chalk. So I can't say that with certainty. I clearly do like it a lot. So it's got to go. If it tastes like Smarties, then I'm putting it under A. But see, chalk is a little bit grittier. So you know what? B. I'm really talking myself around all of these. Slime? Yeah, easy. Stretchy hands? I agree with everyone else. It's kind of giving fruit roll-up vibes. It's giving fruit roll-up. Glitter? Maybe the one thing I haven't tried. Confetti? That's the same thing as glitter. Fish tank pebbles? That is that's still the same thing as beads and quartz to me. Crayons? They're not as good as you'd think. They're not as good as you'd think. But if they tasted good, I'd eat them more than the times that I have tried. It's in tab form though. Yeah, it's much more digestible. Okay, this is just, did we not do pebbles already? I think we've established this. Why we're doing this. Flowers? Flowers are largely edible sometimes. Chowing down on those crayons when they're near end of use. That's what I'm saying. Oh, me, a patio in the summer and a box of crayons. Call up the Marines. We're ready to go. Yeah, the Marines would beg to differ on this ranking system. Yeah, flowers, you can eat them. Laundry pods. See, this is my controversial take. I've never understood people's desire to eat a laundry pod. I'm putting that in A tier. Like, I can get it to a degree, but also, like, it's because the bottom part that has the chalk in it. The top part, I'm getting. It's giving gusher, but the bottom part is just chalky. It's the most edible kind of rock and not salt. Yeah, well, the answer would be salt generally, yes. Sea glass, again, that's still just glass. Laundry detergent, I've never once thought about that. Ooh, kinetic sand. No, because I've eaten sand too, not by choice on that one. We've all gotten sand in our mouth, and that's actually the worst experience. The worst experience of all time. And I should know because I've experienced everything that's ever experienced. Dice. Again, this is just another form of plastic. And then tumbled stones. That's just pebbles. Pebbles, sea glass, it's all the same thing. I feel like they could have done more with this. Yeah, this list was big for D. I said what I said. A big D list today. But you know, you really can't win them all. And I've heard people say that. However, I like to live in the DJ Khaled method of life in which all I do is win. So I can't relate, but I'm a singer, so I'm working late. I can't relate. Anyways, it's about that time where I'm tired as hell and I do have to make dinner still. And it is getting late because I'm working late. And I weirdly have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow and multiple meetings to take for some reason. I love when I finally get meetings. DJ Khaled eats everything except for what really matters. You eat everything else is one of the best quotes. That's got to be one of the quotes of our generation. When Tana Mojo said, I don't understand why DJ Khaled like complains about eating women out. It's like you eat everything else. It's crazy. It's crazy work. I'm working late. You literally eat everything else. Thank you for the Prime, dude. The Prime subscription. La da dee da da da. I'm working late. It was all insane. That was an insane timeline. It was an insane time to be alive. Oh, the Tana Mojo and Jake Paul situation of it all. That was the Brad Jelena of people who didn't have media literacy in 2016, 17. I thought that was, oh my God, I could give an entire think piece on the Tana and Jake Paul fake marriage and relationship situation. Because I was quite young when that was happening, but even when I was watching that happen and everyone believing that that was happening, I was like, we all know this is fake, right? But like clearly not fake to her, but clearly fake to him. I thought everyone knew that that was just like a PR stunt that she was taking too far, which was really sad and heartbreaking to watch. It's terrible because we've all been there, girl. But I also like didn't realize that people thought that was real. Like people thought they were actually like getting married and shit. And I was like, they're YouTubers. No, they're YouTubers. And they're clickbaiting you. But obviously one of them's more into it than the other, and it's sad because, you know, that's unfortunate. Oh, and you do it too for Hassan Piker. Someone pitched that idea to him. We get fake married, but then I accidentally, the women's sphere is so stupid. Yeah, I think you've voiced your opinion, dude. Does circumcision make sex worse for women? I don't care. I'm having a great time. Are there reviews on women you have sex with usually that it was bad? I'm not struggling so much in that department personally, but I'm glad that you care so much. That you bring it up when we're talking about fun things. You seem fun at parties. Incels, fun at parties. I'm working late cause I'm a singer. And you look so cute wrapped around my finger. Anyways, it really is indeed how it is sometimes. And I got this one boy, and he won't stop calling. Speaking of which, oh, that's hot gossip for another time. That's hot gossip for another time, you guys. The ops are here. We can't be gossiping about men right now, or else they might start crying about how circumcision is why women aren't coming when they fuck. No one. I don't know. I'm sorry you're struggling with that, sir. I don't know what to tell you. That's so tough. Actually, that says a lot about you and the women's sphere. Now I know you. Yeah, you actually don't know me. I don't even know what your real name is. And that's not me asking. I don't know you and I don't care to. It says a lot about you that, yeah, we're having orgasms. Good. Write that down. I write that, and you can quote me on that. I don't care that you aren't getting laid. That's not my problem. I don't have that problem. I orgasm a lot. A clinically insane amount, some might say. But you know, it is my house and I know my way around. And I got this one boy and he won't stop calling. When they act this way, I know I got him. I am super hungry though. Too bad your ex don't do it for you. I'm checking Twitter to see what the Twitter news is. Walked in the mountain, dude. Something like that. I don't properly know all the words, and that isn't obvious. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And I got this one boy, and he won't stop stalking. Haven't talked to you in years. I don't know who you are. What is this? I haven't talked to you in years. When we first talked 7 years ago, when I was like 4, now I'm openly progressive as your content. It's right on, dude. Thank you. I guess. Sick. Hell yeah. You know what? Hell yeah. Guys, we saved a man today. That other guy can't relate. Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad that my content has helped you come out of right-leaning shit. And then that's actually kind of iconic. New York Times will be quoting you on that later. And it looks so do-do-do-do-do-do. It's her house, of course you can say that. My house in the middle of a street, a house. Check your Instagram DMs. Wait. Back when you were cringe. I'm so sorry. I don't know who you are. That's not me trying to be mean. I have thousands upon thousands of Instagram DMs. I have no idea. I'm not aware of anyone named Polaires. I've never met. I'm so sleepy. I'm eepy and sleepy. Dude, and it'll happen. And that's how it happens. And that's how it happens. You gotta get out of those small Republican towns. Most women under 30 are against circumcision now. Cool, dude. Then you can stop fighting the fight. You won, right? Right on. Well, then you must be making all the women orgasm. So you think someone is an incel if they're against circumcision? No, that's not why we think you're an incel, dude. And anyone with a basic amount of functioning brain cells could have deduced why at this point. And I don't think it's anyone here's job to walk you through critical thinking. Congrats, be a guy or a girl. I'd page show for big circumcision. This man was circumcised against his will as a baby, and he's never let anyone not hear about it. And he's never once let it go. It's become everyone else's problem because he hates his mommy. Because he's not blaming his dad, that's for damn sure. Sleep? It's only 8 o'clock. Republicans and critical thinking in the same sentence. Couldn't be me. Couldn't hear it. Oh, dead ass. And he had that one boy, and he won't stop calling. Maybe act this way. I know I got him. One time I talked to a kid who was Mormon, and that was weird, accidentally. He buried the lead on that. But it was a crazy time. According to Instagram, we have never once DM'd or spoken, dude, but I appreciate your story nonetheless. No, that's the handle. And congrats on making it out. You got that one boy, and he won't stop calling. Oh, is this you? We've never spoken before. You have messaged me a lot, though. Do you think that this was a conversation? Right. So we got a new one to add to the list. It says in 2019, you saw me on Tinder. And you've been repeatedly messaging me ever since. That's some fucking terrifying shit. Oh, brother. I don't know you at all. In fact, 2019 was before I was even making content. So you found me when I was like a kid. Literally, my life is fucking weirdos every day. Guys who find me at 18 and still don't go away. I wasn't 18 in 2019, but this isn't the first time that's happened. I have stalkers that have hung in here from like when I was in high school, in which I was like, I wasn't even online. How did you find me off the grid? And that's crazy. Yeah, back in 2020, again, before I was even making content, you were responding to my stories saying, could be me, but I was never given the chance. Jesus. Hey, you guys, if I get murdered someday, could you find this guy? I think we just found the suspect. I think we found him. He looked this way. The gossip is getting disturbing. This is me just like literally unpacking my life live on a stream. Me thinking that this was the same kid I went to like high school with or something, and it was going to be like a wholesome, like, yeah, this is the kid I sat next to in science class because I recognized the first name. Not the same guy. No, blue, orange, weird fuck. Not everything's about you. Shut up. Too bad your ex don't do it for you. Walked in a mountain, do it for you. Boo doo doo doo. Where he's silent in the chat now. Where is this stuff from years ago, allegedly, in which we talked and apparently I saved you? This is insane. I love my life. You're not that guy.
What are we doing? What's going on?
That's so fun for me. This is a crazy thing that I think that like people need to understand more is that this guy has been on my ass since before I was making content. So literally when I was I in out in California around this time? No, I would have still been living in Minnesota. Literally just as a fucking rando, just like 19-year-old. This man found me and has been following me ever since. Which means this just shit, like this isn't even influencer level shit. This is just like average women that these men will lock on to. And I just happened to later in life become an influencer. And then they're there. And you never, you never know. Literally my life. The dude's been so fucking silent in chat. He hasn't said a single thing since I opened up these DMs. Are we going to talk about it? I can show them, by the way. Because I will. Focus, focus. 2019. Continuing from there. Saw you on Tinder. Knew I had to follow me and make sure I got to talk to you. Well, congrats. It only took 7 years. You did it, Joe. You got to talk to me. Cool, blocked. Literally my life. This is, again, I talked about this in my video today. If you haven't gone to watch my video, I would highly recommend. Would absolutely highly recommend. Because I talk about how I stopped dating. And this is exactly one of those reasons. Because one time I did end up going out with a man who had been stalking me in the same way as this guy. Where like at some point after the date, like I found him on Instagram and saw that the messages he's been sending me one way went all the way back to like 2020 or 2019. Like again, before I was even like the way I managed to get out of that alive afterwards, I was like, hey, let's actually stop dating people that we meet on dating apps and things. Like, let's just not ever do that again. That was a few years ago as well. But like, also the crazy part about that is in that particular story, like that guy actually managing to match with me on a dating app and indeed getting the date, which is a statistical anomaly, as we already know. Like the odds of actually successfully pulling off a date on a dating app, not super hard or not super easy always. But like, yeah, dude, had you just been a fucking normal person, you almost got there. Literally my life. Sorry, writing this down. So I'll never remember it. Weird. You're worthy. His wife that he forgot to mention is insane. Is absolutely insane. Can't believe you've done this. You once went on a date with a girl from Hinge who tried to taser a homeless dude. What? Dating apps are a wrap. Like, dating apps are a wrap. They need to get a handle on that shit. And I know it's not the dating apps to blame. It's like literally just the people out there in the world as well. Because if you find someone like, but it's like, it's so bad. Why is everything so bad right now? Why is everything so bad? Why is everything and everyone so bad? He thought you'd be fine. What does that have to do with anything? That's like saying, oh, and one time I murdered someone, but I thought you'd be fine with it because you ordered chicken tonight. What? Even that sentence almost makes more sense because I guess you technically killed a chicken to eat it. But like, what is the logic on that? What? Oh my God. It is the dating apps. I think the dating apps have escalated it. I think, but it's not dating apps. So like, I think it's all just, I think it's a accumulation of things. I really don't, unfortunately, I don't think it's just one thing that's the problem, but there's an argument to be made for like everything that goes all hand in hand. Oh yeah, don't get Tinder like ever. Tinder is honestly for psychopaths. It's for psychopaths and it's, yeah, I've used it for other things that I won't disclose. I guess the ICE operation's kind of spoiled, but I used it for that a lot. I use it for literally like market research because I was going to work with some dating apps and I wanted to see how they were all running these days. Things like that. But I would not use Tinder for actually dating anyone at all. That shit is a nightmare. The only one I would actually recommend in this day and age is like maybe you might have a half of a shot with Bumble or Hinge, but Tinder is dog shit. They need to seriously revamp some of that. They need to figure it out. Although actually, you know what? I think like Tinder is fine if you know what you're using it for. Like Tinder is kind of the grinder for most straight people or like mainstream, because there's gay people on Tinder as well. Tinder is like the hookup app. So I guess it's not like horrible, but I really like, Stop trying to stop trying to pitch it as if it's like Hinge, you know? It's just, you got to know the vibe of it. Yeah, that shit was insane. Anyways, I'm starving, so I'm actually gonna go eat. I also just have to pee really bad. That's usually how I end streams, is when I'm gonna like piss my pants. It's time to go. Go piss, girl. But yeah, stay cool, stay awesome, have motion, have fun.